Hall of Famer Cammi Granato is up to quite a lot these days, including this, tweeting out, "I've partnered with youth sports fundraising platform FlipGive to provide 21 U.S. girls with a grant of $500, a $300 equipment package generously from NHL, the Players Association, and Pure Hockey, and a bonus for your coach from the coach's site." You can apply at the website you see on your screen, and we're going to talk to Cammi for much more about this. A hockey pioneer and certainly a hero to a lot of boys and girls out there, including myself. It's an honor to have you joining us here, Cammi. So let's start with the fundraising effort. What was it about this specific group that made you want to get involved?
It's just a way to give back to women's hockey, and I think it's really important to me to be able to do this. I'm really happy that I partner with FlipGive on this, and I'm even a bigger bonus to have the NHL and the NHLPA and Pure Hockey generously donate some equipment for the girls. So it's just really important for me to know that I can give back, and that there are going to be 21 grant members this year getting $500 towards their fees, plus the equipment, like I mentioned. So it's really exciting.
It is exciting. You know, we will always remember you for a lot of great things that you've done, but I think it goes back to that gold medal winning team that you were a huge part of back in the 1998 Olympics. And to bring home gold and take down Canada and everything, it stood for a long time as a really big moment in USA hockey history. Now, there's kind of a new generation of women. I know you've been so inspirational to someone like Kendall Coyne-Schofield, who just recently was announced as a part of player development staff for the Chicago Blackhawks. She credited you for kind of pointing her in that direction as somewhere that might be an interest to her. So what was that conversation like?
Well, you know, Kendall and I have had a relationship since she was really young, and she being from the Chicago area, like myself, we've always stayed close. Our families have stayed close, and to watch her grow from this little, you know, bright-eyed, excited young player into this woman that she is today, just kicking butt all over the place with her, you know, her Olympic gold medal, her involvement helping grow the game. We all saw what she did on the All-Star weekend with the guys, with her skating, and now with this job and some of her broadcasting. She's just, you know, an amazing person, but also very talented in the hockey world. So this job is very, very fitting for her. She's had a good relationship with the Blackhawks over the past years, and I'm really excited for her. And her and I just talked just about, you know, we personally, when we talked about it, it was just more of me supporting her and saying, like, it's going to be a great job for her. And she knows that. But we have a really good relationship to bounce things off each other. And yeah, I'm grateful for that and really proud of her, actually.
Yeah, and we are too. She was an analyst for us for a short time here at NHL Network, and we can't wait to see her do great things in this next chapter of her career. You mentioned the women taking part in the NHL All-Star Skills Competition a couple of years ago and what that meant to the sport. In your time in women's hockey as a player and a coach, and you know, now we'll talk about the pro scout part of your career in a second, but how have you seen the women's game grow, and what else would you like to see happen in the near future to advance it even more?
You know, it's definitely, since I've played, there's some things that have been really slow to grow, but there's also, when you look at from the start from where we were, where the teams are now and the growth of the game, it's gone slow, but it's steady and it's rising. And right now is the most amazing time for female athletes, just with this riding of the understanding that women's sports have that equality. And the girls that the 2018 team that fought for those rights a couple years before that really helped get the awareness, just that solidarity with everybody. It's just been amazing, the growth. I think one of the big differences now is we don't just look at the girls like who they are defined by their country, because that's how we were defined. I was a Team USA player, and the Canadians were the Canadian players, and Sweden, you know, everybody has their own. And now we're all collectively as a group fighting for the sport, speaking out for the sport. And I think that's really important, that collectively with you saw it with the PWHPA, everyone getting really tight together. That's been really instrumental in the growth of the game.
Yeah, it certainly has. We mentioned really briefly that you are, in fact, the first female NHL pro scout, as you were named to that role with the Seattle Kraken. So what does life look like for you now? Obviously, things are on pause right now, and there's still a lot to be sorted out. But when things get back to any sort of normalcy, and eventually when the Kraken come into the league, what do you anticipate for that role?
Well, I worked 1 full year now doing the scouting. So we're scouting, we're basically building a database for our team. And that was really exciting and really fun. I cover the Western Conference specifically. But what happened with COVID was, as hard as it was that we weren't live watching games, we were able to cover a lot more games virtually. And so the learning curve for me as a new into my role, and just for our database and us knowing players that would be available potentially for our upcoming expansion draft, we were able to see more virtually. And so that's been really exciting. And I'm loving it. And it's pretty cool to think that we're going to be putting a team on the ice hopefully next September, depending on how the league is, plays out this year, but timing wise, but we'll be having a team in the near future.
Yeah, we can't wait to see the Seattle Kraken. I mean, to be honest, from the very moment that they announced the colors and the logo and the name and everything, it seems like everything's just been top-notch decision-making wise that the Kraken have done. From your insider's perspective, would you agree that this organization is going to be built for success right away?
Absolutely. I think when the foundation is laid right, that's a recipe for success, because Todd, I don't know if you know much about Todd Leiweke, but Todd is one of the greatest guys that you'll ever know. But his hires and his philosophy, he's really been able to sustain that through his hires and keep that philosophy there. You've seen the diversity of and the inclusion of who he's hired, and just the overall communication of the group. It's a team effort, and you can see that from the beginning. And that, I think, will resonate when we have a team and carry through to our team, and it'll help our team be successful and the organization be successful. So the foundation is laid, and everything's really great. I'm super proud to be a part of it, and it's really, really exciting.
Yeah, a lot to be excited about up there in Seattle and north in Vancouver, where you're living currently as well. So thanks so much for the time, and congrats on this great fundraising effort that you're really trying to help a lot of other young girls out there live their dream.
Yeah, thanks. I'm really excited about it. Look forward to picking the 21 players who received the grant this year, and hoping to grow it in the future years as well, to spread it out to North America and maybe onward.
Perfect. All right. Go.